Three, two, one, started.
Hello, we are so happy to be here once again and talk with you. We're happy to connect with you wherever you are. Please say hi. Whether you're in Kenya, whether you're in Mombasa, we've got services for children in Mombasa at Nyari Healthcare Limited, and also even in Nakuru. You're in Eldoret or we're in Laikipia. So many of you are going to be getting services in Nakuru at Freedom International. We are also here in Nairobi at Lavington Valleyfield Court. So today we are again going to talk about Speech Day. We are going to explain a lot about Speech Day. I'll be receiving your questions. I'll be replying to you. And we are going to have a discussion because a parent who understand actually support their child better. So I receive you all as you come. I want your name read and I want you to say hi. Please say hi. And if possible, say where you are from. Yes.
This is Barbara.
Bablas, how are you?
Is Ben.
Yes, Ben.
Galaxy.
Please say hi and where you are from. Ben, Galaxy, Babla, please say something. We want to connect with you. We want to know who you are. We want to know what challenge are you facing with your child. Wherever you are, we want to help you. With people outside of Kenya, we've got books for you. Your child understands but does not speak. This book, it is helping many parents. We've just did videos about gut health, which I want you to watch. They are going to be posted in the next 2 days, because gut issues are also one of the things affecting the brain, because gut and the brain are connected, and affecting children's attention and sleep. So if there are no sleep, if there are no attention, because one of the two reasons why children actually have speech delay, it's either processing delay, means that the brain is taking too long to process. You ask a child a question and he replies to you like after, for him, you talk to him, auditory center has received it, then it goes in the temporal lobe. Then at temporal lobe, it gets too long while it is being processed. So you find you don't have time to, of course, to wait for the response. You go and you find the child reply to you like after 2 days for the same question which you asked him to do. Another reason why children have speech delay is attention challenges. You find, like we said in this book, the child understands, he has got speech in the brain, but now when he's about to make a sentence and tell you what his reply to any question you might be asking him, his attention gets flipped. His brain is flipping from this to that, to that, to that. So he immediately sees someone with cartoon on the other side and look there. So those are two reasons why many children are having speech delay issues. Another reason also is brain-body connection. We've talked a lot about this, how many people ignore the spine, yet the signals for us to be able to speak. As I'm speaking now, my brain is not just transmitting the signals to my mouth and tongue like this, because you see the mouth, tongue, and jaw are also in my head, but that's not how it works. The signals first passes through the spine, around the spinal cord. You can call it like the highway. We talked a lot about how the spine is like Thika Road. Let's say Thika Road. I see people passing through Thika Road. Someone is going that way, someone is going that way. You drive like 5 kilometers along Thika Road, then you branch going to your side. So we've got a myriads of we've got trillions and trillions of signals passing through the spinal cord. So you can look at the Thika Road or any road wherever you are, in which country you are, and look at that highway And look how many cars are passing there. So in most cases, as you look at your highway, you know you've got your destination because you leave the highway, then going to your place. Another one, after 5 kilometers, they go to their place. So you've got trillions of signals passing through the spine. So while we are addressing problem with speech delay, autism, ADHD, many people have forgotten about the spine. My friend, the spine, that's where the spinal cord is. That's where nerves that now transmit signals to their mouth, to our mouth and tongue and jaw to speak, that's where they are connected from. So your child might have speech, but because the brain and body are not communicating well, the signals don't reach the mouth, or they are weak, or even the mouth and tongue and jaw, they are not responding well to the sound. That's why the child, you find he needs Kunga therapy simulations like the ones that Kunga therapy is able to give to perform on a child, or he needs to, like we talked in this book about sport activities and the daily habits you can do with your child to really improve that body brain connection. So I still welcome you all, and I want to know how many of you have now joined and where you are, because like we said, we are now also helping children in Mombasa at Nyari Healthcare Limited. And also we are supporting children in Nakuru at Freedom International, and here in Lavington, Nairobi. And many parents in outside Kenya, they are buying this, they are getting this copy, online PDF copy, which is helping them. This book contains some of the guidance. We've compiled them in the book. First, we explain the parents what is happening with your child. Then again, we tell you, this is what you are going to do. This is how you are going to actually help your child. So I still welcome you all.
Barbara is saying hi from UK.
Babla, you're welcome. I've got, by the way, some patients from, I've got some parent from UK. There's a child here. The mother is telling us that the child, actually even me, I can see the child now is able to calm down. They've done close to 10 sessions. They told me they came from Birmingham. So, Babla, you can still come in Kenya if possible. If you are not, it's not possible, I recommend you to take this book. But again, there is a system we are building for you people who are in those countries, and maybe you have travel restrictions because you just got there, you haven't got resident permits and all that. But in the application, you're going to be able to support your child. So it's the app is going to be out very soon, and it's going to support many families. And it's been hurting me a lot whenever I could talk with an African parent who is a migrant, maybe in Germany, in France, talk to them in Ireland, and they tell you their pain. They say, I can't come to Kenya, yet I know my child needs support. It hurts because you want them to get the same support. As you are supporting families here, you also want those families, because when you talk to them, you feel their pain and it really hurts you. So this application is going to really support families, and for you to know when the application is going to be out, if you haven't really subscribed on our YouTube channel, Jenny Kunga Therapy Kenya, please subscribe. Jenny Kunga Therapy Kenya. If you haven't followed our TikTok account and Instagram account, please follow Genuine Kunga Therapy Kenya. So wherever you are, also some families from South America, this app is going to help you a lot. It's going to make you as if you're here in Kenya. But for people in Nakuru, in Mombasa, we are there for you. You can bring your child anytime. With Kunga therapy, one of the main things that Kunga therapy is able to do for children for the first 7 days, and that's what we recommend parents, first in those 7 days, it is able to bring attention. I always even tell parents when we are, if someone here has already came for Kunga therapy in Lavington, and you can comment and say it. Because one thing I know, and I thank God, we've never had any complaint from my parents say, for me it's been 7 days and I haven't got attention and my child is still hyper. So one thing I thank God, and it fills my heart with happiness, it's the fact that God is helping us to really deliver on what parents are expecting. So in those 7 days, children, you find, I even tell parents, you can take the video. You can take the video today in our office. You know how it is when most children with developmental challenges, especially like autism, when they get to new places, the hyper even become too brutal. So in that hyperness, I tell parents, it's your private video. I don't want you to share it with me. You can take it if you want. Then you will compare your child. You take another video after 7 days. So if there is a parent here who have already come at Kunga therapy and is already getting, is in the middle of those 7 sessions, or you have finished them, like we see in most testimonials that many parents are sharing on our pages. I know it's difficult. That's why some parents prefer audios because of their privacy. But still they share those audios with you so that you can have hope for your child. It's very possible for a child to come from non-verbal to verbal. That's why we are here. That's why we are doing this live. That's why we are making all those videos. That's why for families who've been complaining about not helping us, them in Mombasa and in Nakuru, that's why we did our best to make sure that every person is getting served. That's why we've wrote this book, Your Child Understand, Why Your Child Understand But Doesn't Speak, a simple guide to brain-body communication and what parents can do. This book is helping parents. And again, also the application is coming, which is going now to help someone in US who just arrived there and hasn't got his permanent residence, and therefore is not allowed to leave the country, and sometimes is a migrant. They are going to be able to get the same results. They are not going to cry that cry which I always see with parents when I talk to them, and some cry, and it really feels emotional. And but I'm glad that finally some parents are actually going to see their children improving, and that problem of not being in Africa, or say now my child is turning 4, and the first 5 years, like I always talk about, first 5 years, that's when the neuroplasticity is at the peak. That's why I tell parents, you want your child to talk with him more. Talk with him more. You don't know which part of the brain you are building at the moment. And don't get tired of talking with him. That's why I always tell parents, one of the 4 things we said, if you want your child to speak, we talked about physical activities, we talked about encouraging eye contact, but we also talked about how you shouldn't speak for your child. If it tells you, if he points at milk in the fridge, say, that's a sign that your child can talk. That's a sign that he has got speech in the brain. And how do you get him to actually bring the speech out? You don't just if you point at milk, you don't just take milk and you give it to him. So what you do, you ask him, hey, you want milk? No, you don't say you want milk, because that's a long sentence. And when children start speaking, that's one of the things I've seen. They don't start with a sentence. They start with single words. There's a parent today who told me she was surprised. They have done so far 11 sessions, and of course, in the first 7 sessions, the child got calm, the hyper went, the eye focus came. The child now started interacting with other people. Though he's not speaking, he's no longer isolating himself. So she told me the child has been saying new words. But there's a word that the child spoke today. She told me that today when they were passing somewhere and the child saw a cow and they say, a cow. So the parent was so happy because that was her first time to see the child actually saying, that was the first, the child had seen cows multiple times, but to see the child like looking at something and speaking what it is, for a child before couldn't even say ma, the parent was so happy. So we are here to support you because we believe children can come from non-verbal to being verbal. Children can come from being hyperactive to being calm, having a calmer behavior. Children can become from insomnia to sleeping. That's why we even did videos about gut health, how gut issues affect brain because they are closely linked. And how, if you want your child to improve his, if you want to improve, we talked a lot about signs of gut health, like constipation, bloating, and of course discomfort, like stomach pain. Many autistic children cry, touching their stomach, and some parents don't even notice. And sometimes you find, because of this, we have trillions of bacteria in our gut health, which actually in our gut system, which actually help us with digestion. So when they don't get fed, they complain, they stress the entire system. They stress the gut system. And when the gut system is uncomfortable, the brain also suffers. And how does it suffer? The child loses sleep. There's a child I received on Saturday. Is a 2-year-old girl. And the mother told me the child was sleeping 2 hours. My friend, I felt so sad, because now imagine even yourself, if you can sleep only 2 hours in the night, you know what it means. But what I thank God is that the fact that the second session, when they came, they said the child slept. The father was so happy, the mother was so happy. And when I saw the child, she had this calmer behavior. When you looked a day before, because the nervous system, if the child can't sleep, they can't talk, because the nervous system will always be overactive. There will be no attention. There will be attention challenges. The child, she was just vulnerable. When I saw her on the first day, that little girl, blonde girl, but it was so sad when you looked. I could see the kind of pain she's having. But when they came, actually it's yesterday on Sunday, when they came back after that first day, and she had said, wow, she was that calm girl. And there was another boy who had just arrived for assessment, and the boy went and greeted her. And I told two parents, you should take each other's number. You never know. But the way she was calm after that sleep issues have been worked on. So Kunga therapy can really improve insomnia. In those 7 days, there are four main biggest things that happen for children. First, those who had insomnia, it goes. They get sleep. That's it's almost like a guarantee, because after those 7 days, I haven't had a parent who said, now our child is still struggling with sleep. The second thing that parents notice is attention after doing 7 days of Kunga therapy. They get attention. The third thing they get, the hyper reduce completely. So if there is any parent here who have already come at Kunga therapy, for me, I always tell them, take the video. After 7 days, take another video for yourself. And if possible, I would really love it if you can share your testimony with other mothers and fathers out there who have lost hope for their children. I know many of you like to just scroll, look for advices. It's good to look for advices. These are motivation advices which helps you to see that things can work. But now you need to come from just scrolling to implementing, because scrolling and look for I see comments, some of you in the comments, there is a parent who say that she's taken shots of our videos that we post, that she rewatches them every day and she's been implementing. And she saw that her child now is able to have eye contact. I was so happy for that. So one thing that made me happy is the fact that that parent is working. Here we talk a lot about things you are going to do, because I can't repeat all of them right here, but they are in this book. They're in this book, detailed what you are going to do to improve your child's health. Maybe let me even put this book here, because parents, you need to come from just scrolling to now actually implementing. You want to improve your child's gut health? Give him those 4 types of fruits that we said. Apples, bananas, because of their fibers, apples because of that pectin, and pineapples, also avocados. So those fixes help with feeding these trillions of bacteria in our gut system, which sometimes really cause problems. So when you work on that, you improve attention, you improve sleep, but also do sport activities. They improve body-brain connection, oxygen supply, blood supply. This works against the rise of stress levels when the nervous system is overactive. So now the child starts getting sleep. That's one of the things. If you really want your child to sleep, do 4 things. Get him for physical activities. We've talked a lot about it in this book. Read chapter 7, 8, 9. Do that. Because when children have got enough sleep, even their attention improves. So as a parent, you need to come from the point of just scrolling to the point of implementing. Yes, they've told me that I need to have these types of food, which have omega-3, omega-9, omega-3 fatty acids, zinc, iron, magnesium. They told me that I need to have these 4 types of fruit to improve my child's gut health. Bananas, pineapples, apples, The reason why we don't strongly recommend, we don't always recommend supplements, because sometimes you might give your child a certain kind of supplement, but that supplement, your child does not have a deficiency in that. So that doesn't really help. But when you give your child food, you get the same thing without spending a lot of money, but also even be able to, without spending a lot of money, and also get results. So one thing I always tell parents, get disciplined. You want your child to improve, to have speech, to talk. We've given you advice on how to improve that speech. Like we talk in this book, like we talk. There are many advice. I can't go into everything like right now, because there are too many things that you should do. Because if I repeat them now, it would take us hours. But they're in this book. They're in the videos that we keep sharing here. Also, they are on YouTube in longer form, in long form. Genuine Kunga Therapy Kenya. You write Genuine Kunga Therapy Kenya in YouTube, you subscribe, then you'll be able to see those videos. But also, this book is helping many parents. You can get a copy of this. There's PDF copy. We just send it on WhatsApp. You don't need to stress with downloading and what. Just get your copy. And for parents in Nakuru, Kericho, like Pia, Eldoret, we're at Freedom International. So you are getting there the same service that other parents are getting here in Lavington, Valleyfield Court here in Nairobi. And people in Mombasa, at the coastal side of Kenya, we have the same thing you are getting here, the same Kunga therapy you are getting here, which is helping many families. You are getting it there at Nyeri Healthcare Limited. So just take steps. Don't stop. And
Tell them the number to book.
Number to book appointment for Mombasa and Nakuru, it's +254 79 77 05870 079 77 05870. So whether you are in Nairobi, whether you are in Eldoret, you are going to get the same service and with the same team. And we are going to make sure that your child gets the hyper reduced completely. The attention comes, the eye contact comes. And from there, these are the base. Like I always tell parents, how do you expect a child to talk who can't even settle for a minute? Sometimes even, I think sometimes when children see people telling them, repeat this, these guys. I'm having pain, my nervous system is overactive, I'm having spasm, like many of them they have. I'm having pain, my stomach is paining every time, and this one is telling me to talk. So, like, we don't understand these children. And when we see them moving, when I see parents in the office, one thing I focus on, I first tell the parent about the child. The child is moving from here and there. Don't blame him. So I first work on helping the parent to understand what the child is going through. Because it's painful. Trust me, it's painful. it's painful. So for someone who has got a lot of pains, the best thing you can do for him, if I've got stomach pain, because my gut issues are really stressing me out, I was born with a vulnerable nervous system that it weakens the nerves that connect to my gut organs, especially like sympathetic nerves that connect to stomach, pancreas, liver, and all that, intestines, large and small. So they are weakened. They are not passing clear signals to my organs, to my internal organs. So even I'm not getting the types of fruits which can actually support my gut. So I've got all those pain. I'm not sleeping. You sleep 7 hours. For me, I sleep 2 hours. But also I know some parents, when their children are not sleeping, even they are not sleeping. But for a child who has got insomnia, he doesn't have attention. He's always hyper. He's not hyper because he likes it. He's hyper because that's the signals the brain is giving the body. He's restless. The nervous system is overactive and overstimulated. Therefore, the body is perceiving that as a stress and releasing a lot of cortisol levels. And these stress hormones, which are too much in me, you want me to speak, say mama, say daddy, say this, say that. I look at you and say, this person, why can't you give me a second? So, like, of course the child can't speak. He just looks at you, and sometimes he will even, because many children end up repeating words like say mommy, say daddy, say this, say that, say this, say that, say that. Not with their frontal lobe, like the way we make speech in the Broca's area. First, when the language and sound was processed in the temporal lobe, they end up not using those. They just use the part of our brain which is in charge of recording patterns and dealing with songs and the favorite sounds, like the right hemisphere and the rhythmic pathways. So even if the child repeats 100 words, he will only repeat those ones which you trained him to speak. Is that speech really? It's not. So because speech is when I can think and talk to you, when I can think, when you can ask me and reply you with a different answer. So for a child who is trained to repeat words, that's not speech. It's the same thing. If instead of really even making him repeat words, you would rather play songs to him. You would rather give him a list of songs to listen to on a daily basis. Whether you give him Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, or even his cartoon. Anyway, cartoons are bad because, like we said, you want your child to talk, stop screen time. So for that child, the thing of telling him, say this, say this, say this, say this, you'd rather actually give him headphones and let him hear songs, because he's going to have a lot of words to repeat. But because whether he repeats songs, whether you tell him to repeat words, he's using the same part of the brain, the right hemisphere and the rhythmic pathways, and also his memory, helping him to just store those words in his brain so that he can repeat for you next time and you give him peace. So if you want your child to speak, there are 4 main things you need to work on. You need to work on hyper first before everything. Work on the hyper, which Kunga therapy is able to do for you. Like we said, in the first 7 days, the hyper really reduced completely. And parents who are here and have already came for therapy, they can talk about it. They can, if you are here on live and you have already brought your child and you are doing sessions. I know some of even from 4 sessions, 5 sessions, because you know, one of the things I like to do whenever I see you, when you come at our centers, every day when you come for sessions, I always ask you, how many sessions have you done? What changes are you seeing? So even when you've done the first session, the next day when I see you, I ask you that question. What have you seen? Because their parents, of course, will tell you, even from the first day we got sleep. It's not a small thing. If the child couldn't sleep 8 hours, 9 hours since he was born, but now for the first time he slept those hours, it's something good and big, because that sleep is one of the foundations we, as Ikunga therapy, we want to have to improve your child's speech. We need sleep, we need his attention, we need his eye focus, we need him to have eye focus, we need also to the helper to do what? To reduce. So many parents have really been complaining from Mombasa, Nakuru, Eldoret, Laikipia, even Kisumu. Say, Nairobi is far, but at least Nakuru is near Kisumu. So now, trust me, it hurts when you are the one, when you see other parents, children improving on a daily basis, and you know that child's parent, you know that child of that parent in Kisumu or Laikipia or Nakuru or Kericho, that child also, because the parent tells you what the child is really facing and tell you, you people, with my job, I can't. I've got other children to take care of. Why can't you really help us? Also, it's been hurting a lot, I'm telling you. But now that we've got center there, now it's left with you parents that, okay, you are in the coastal area, you are in Voi, you are wherever, near Mombasa. Now you are going to be helped the same way parents here in Nairobi are being helped on a daily basis here in Lavington, Valleyfield Court. You're going to get the same service. You're going to get the same results. So those are the 4 things that Ikunga therapy does for a parent for the first 7 days. But also for parents who are abroad, you need this book. This book is helping many parents. Where your child understands but doesn't speak, a simple guide to brain, body, communication, and what parents can do. For parents of children with speech delay, autism, or communication challenges, this is a book for them. So like I was saying, you need to move from just scrolling for ideas, for tips, which you are not really implementing. That will not help. That will not improve the child. But starting, having that discipline, saying, yeah, I've been postponing it, but this week when I go to the market, I'm going to buy those types of fruit they told me, which are going to improve my child's gut health. I'm going to buy those types of food and fruits which they've told me that are going to improve my child's speech. So take the book. Take the book. Read it, especially chapter 7, 8, 9, if you are outside Kenya. And also, I want to remind you, there's an application coming. For you parents in Germany, South America, UK, who have been suffering, saying, yeah, People in Kenya are lucky for us. I've been talking with many of you. Even some in Ghana, Nigeria, someone tell you, I just don't have money. I don't even have money to pay the air tickets. So you feel sad for that parent because that child also need help. So now that application is going to be helping them. This book is going to be helping them. But for people who are in Kenya, you really have no reason why your child should continue to have hyper, yet you can do something about it. Just bring your child. You really don't have any excuse why your child should continue having insomnia issues when you can just come at our centers in Mombasa, Nakuru, at Freedom International, and here in Lavington, Nairobi. Your child say ma, ba, only those two characters or words. So you want him to speak. So you really have no reason why, because children at Kunga therapy comes from those two things to forming new words. And like I repeat it, I talk to parents on a daily basis. I ask you, what changes have you seen? How is your child now? And I always like the answer here. We've seen this, we've seen that. He's like this now. Wow. That really is the only thing which makes my day. Like, it makes me, yeah, you feel happy, like, yeah. And even when you saw the child, the way the nervous system was overactive, because for sure they are passing through a lot of pain. And one of the problems, someone is having a lot of problems. He doesn't even know how to write and maybe communicate to his writing and tell you, please, right now, it's not good with me. He doesn't know how to speak and tell you, yes, you want me to repeat. Can you please give me some second to fast? Because you see me moving. Actually, it's not well with me. So the child doesn't know how to communicate to you. So he looks at you. So that's why you find some children, when you overforce, they actually go in a room. Some children go in a room and they close the door. And the person, hey, this child is stubborn. Why is he closing the door? Yeah. So there is that misunderstanding. One of the things that I really want to be talking about a lot also, it's about this misunderstanding, whether one side is having this type of pains, but this other side, which really cares, because there is no parent I've met with a speech delay child, with neurodevelopmental challenges child, who doesn't really love their children. They love them. Of course, a parent loves their child, but they don't know. Like they just think the child is just hyper. My friend, the child is not hyper because he wants it. So I still welcome you all. For people in Mombasa, Nakuru, in Mombasa at Nyari Healthcare Limited and Nakuru, Freedom International. Also the surrounding areas of Nakuru, Kisumu, Kericho, Laikipia, Eldoret. You can call this number which we pinned, plus 254 79 77 05 870 and book an appointment. So I think now we can answer some of your questions, and when you ask a question, mention your child's age and where you are. Yes.
Okay. Let's start with Z. Z is asking how to get eye contact. Please help because I'm not in Kenya.
Z, take this book. Take this book. Your child understand. This one is going to help you solve that. Because it contains all the things I've spoken, it contains really all the things I haven't had time to talk. So with this book, parents actually get eye contact. Another thing, there is an application that is upcoming, which is going to help you, most of you who are not in Kenya. And the same way children are getting eye contact, attention, and hyperbowing, you are also going to get the same results. But what you can do, because I never know, you might not get the copy or you forget, but let me tell you those 4 things which you are going to do to improve your eye contact. The first thing you are going to do if you want your child to have eye contact, make sure your child sleeps. That's the first, because when the children doesn't sleep, the nervous system goes overactive. When the nervous system is overactive, the child can't have eye contact because his neurological energy goes low and he cannot sustain eye contact. So the first thing you're going to do, work on sleep. And the sleep, we've talked a lot about how you can do it. You know, these things are connected. You look for signs like constipation, bloating, stomach pain, and all that. Those are signs that the child might have gut health. And give him those types of fruit we said, like papaya, apples, avocados, and bananas. That one is going to help you to deal with sleep. So the second thing you are going to do is physical exercise. We've talked a lot about how ball playing, learning games, and jumping are able to improve body-brain connection, which is very important also for even eye contact. Because eye contact, as simple as it might look like, eye contact use the same 5 parts that our brain use when we are talking. That's why when I tell a parent, I always tell parents, you just need your child to have eye contact and have hypergoal and have attention. Then the speech just comes. Because eye contact, you can't have eye contact without temporal lobe functioning properly and coordinating with with the frontal lobe. You can't have eye contact without the limbic system also being involved. So all these 5 systems that are involved, even cerebellum, that are involved in the speech, they're also involved in the eye contact. So the second thing you are going to do to really improve your child's eye contact is physical activities. Because apart from improving body-brain connection, it is also going to improve blood and oxygen supply to the brain. And these ones are going to awaken different neural pathways which are involved in the what? In the eye contact. But more than that, with more blood supply and oxygen supply, your child is going to get that neurological energy which he doesn't have, and which is the reason why he doesn't sustain eye contact. So do physical activities. The third thing you are going to do if you want to really improve your child's eye contact, which I want you to do, if you forget to take this book, which was going to really help you a lot with that, the third thing I want you to do to improve your child's eye contact is to actually encourage eye contact. I always tell parents, you want your child to talk. You want your child to, to talk. Talk with him. You want your child to communicate. Communicate with him more. Why? In many videos, I've talked a lot about the neuroplasticity. The neuroplasticity, or the brain plasticity, is a way our brain is able to reorganize, readapt, and even strengthen the neural pathways. So by trying to look at your child, whenever he looks at you by making attempts, please don't get tired, even if you make 100 attempts on a daily basis. And if possible, today you've tried the 100 attempts, tomorrow try 200. Parents, let me tell you, you are the top therapist for your child. You want your child to have eye contact. If you want to bring him here to Kunga therapy, of course, in 7 days, that eye contact is going to be there. That one is guaranteed with Kunga therapy. So you not do anything. You just bring him for 2 hours, then we do the work. When you are there even seeing, after 7 days, eye contact will be there. But now, you are not in Kenya. This book can help you. But the third thing, if you are not able to get the book, the third thing you are going to do is to actually encourage eye contact. Try to look at your child's eye every time you are talking with him. Why is that going to work? Because neuroplasticity is going to help you. Because what happens if you want your child to talk and you are talking with him more, you want him to communicate and you are communicating with him more, the reason why it actually helps, it's because when you encourage eye contact with him, every time like this, 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 he's going also to be making attempts. So when he makes attempts to look at you, this brain plasticity is going to realize that the limbic system is not helping with the emotional part, which has to be involved in the eye contact, and it's going to reassess its neural networks. So the brain is going to try to fix that problem for you. That's an insider doctor. I always tell people we've got an insider doctor for children below 5 years. So any intervention you are going to do, it's going to yield multiple results, robust gains. Doesn't mean that a child above 5 years that the hope is lost for them. Even for them, the neuroplasticity there, but not at the peak as children who are below 5 years. So the brain plasticity now is going to start strengthening its neural networks, which are failing to help to connect when the eye contact is really done, is really being done. in the temporal lobe, in the frontal lobe, because he needs attention to sustain eye contact. So if the brain persists to find that the reason why he's not able to go beyond 30 seconds of eye contact, and some new networks there are overconnected or underconnected, it is going to readapt, to strengthen, to reorganize those nerves. So you will try 100 times or 50 times a day, but try 100 times. Let me tell you, don't get lazy. You've got a child with speech delay and he has to improve. Don't get lazy. Just do it, execute. Don't wait. So do that. The fourth thing, which is the last thing I want you to do, is to give him these types of food that are going now to help improve brain health. Like avocados. Because this eye contact is involving multiple parts of the brain. So you need your child to have omega-3 supply, omega-9, omega-3 fatty acids, zinc, iron, magnesium, which you are going to get in avocados, eggs, 2 eggs per day, which you are going to get in walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and oranges, and fish, especially sardines and omenas, and avocados, and bananas. But especially, there's this one fruit, if you want your child to improve his eye contact, please, this fruit, let it never leave your fridge. Buy as many as possible. And especially, even if your child eats 10, don't stop him. Because bananas, these are natural sugars. These are natural glucose. They're not like these other processed sugars. So some parents actually stop their children from taking bananas. Children they get hyper. When they get hyper, they know that every time they eat bananas, it helps them to feel a little bit calm. They know that when they eat bananas and they were struggling to sustain eye contact, when they eat bananas, it actually helps them. But the parents, because they don't know, they say, no. They told us sugar is bad. So they stop you doing. Yet for sure, you would have let the child really take those bananas because they would have helped. That you stop him. So when you stop him, you are not really helping. So give him bananas. Don't miss bananas in your fridge. So I think these are enough to help, but also a lot which if you want really to get serious with this, please get this copy of this book, Your Child Understands but Doesn't Speak, a simple guide to brain-body communication and what parents can do. So, that's what you are going to do. So I want to remind you people who are in Mombasa, Kericho, who are in Mombasa and the coastal areas, you've got Kunga Therapy Services at Nyari Healthcare Limited, and we've even given you the number for booking in the pin section. So contact to book appointments. Also, people in Nakuru, Laikipia, Kisumu, Kericho, Eldoret, many of you, just book an appointment on the number in the pin section, and we are here at Freedom International School, and we are helping you the same way people here in Nairobi, Lavington, Valleyfield Court are getting help. The same result, the same changes parents are seeing in their children, you're going to get the same.
Okay. I have less than 10 minutes. So we can go faster. Lena is saying, my boy is 2 years. He can't respond to his name, but he listens.
The boy is
2 years. Can't respond to his name, but he listens. Just like that.
Yeah, but a child of 2 years, at least he should be having 2-word sentences. So if he's not able to do that, that's a speech delay. And if he doesn't respond to name, that's a sign that he has got attention challenges. He might have autism, but to be sure, you need to bring him for assessment at our centers in Lavington and Lavington, Valleyfield Court, Mombasa, and Nakuru. Also, even people, most of you in Kampala, you can just go to Pollinet Muyenga. You can go to Pollinet Learning Center in Muyenga. You're going to get the same service. So you need to bring your child. That's you've got a lot of chances in the world because your child is 2 years. Let me tell you, for parents with 2-year children, you you have a lot of chances in the world because these children, when they get intervention, almost everything changes. Sometimes it's even difficult for me when I receive a parent who have come for assessment and the child is 2 years. Sometimes I know the child has signs of autism, but I know the parent have got a lot of chances in the world. So I tell parents, okay, your child has signs of autism, but things can change. The child is 2 years.
Monica. Monica is asking, are oranges, bananas, and apples good for babies with autism?
Oranges?
Bananas and apples.
Yeah. Apples are good for brain health because they contain pectins, which these trillions of bacteria they have in their gut organ or in our gut systems feed on. And when they don't get their feed, they really cause problems, disturbances, stomach pain and all that, which makes discomfort, therefore affecting the brain, the child losing attention and losing sleep. Then the child will still be nonverbal. So apples are very good. Another thing, if the child has got gut issues, which we said, if the child has constipation, is bloating, and having stomach pains all the time, that's a sign that has got brain gut health. So apples are good because they are going to help with gut health. So now oranges, she said about oranges and bananas. These are extremely important, extremely important, extremely important. We talked a lot about how bananas help with help with eye contact. And even oranges for overall brain health. The child needs them for a child with autism. So yes, these foods are very important.
Next, we have Ryder asking, is wheat good for an autism child?
Not good. not good. Try to anything containing it. Just try as much as possible to hide them away from your child and don't give them any of those. Same goes with these processed sugars, not natural sugars like bananas.
Okay. Nyambura. My son doesn't respond to his name, but he keeps saying mama and daddy.
The child doesn't respond to name, but he keeps saying mommy and daddy. How old is the child?
1 year 7 months.
So repeat again.
My son, my 1.7 son doesn't respond to his name, but he keeps saying mama and daddy.
Doesn't respond to his name. That's a concern. Because a child who doesn't respond to name, the fact that he can say mommy and dad, that shows you that his auditory centers are actually working. Because how did he hear that word? To imitate it and repeat it. That's good. But the fact that he doesn't respond to name, that shows you an attention challenge, which might end up delaying his speech. So, Nyambura, you really need to get your child assessed. Maybe there are even some underlying signs that a professional person will see and help. You can bring your child at Kunga Therapy. We assess him, then we also help you.
Okay, Abby.
You can come in Lavington, Nairobi, Valleyfield Court, or in Mombasa at Nyali Healthcare Limited, or in Nakuru at Freedom International, or in Uganda, in Kampala at Polinet Healthcare Limited. Yes.
Abby is asking, is echolalia a step to full speech?
Yeah, it's good because it shows that the child has at least started forming some communication pathways, which is good. The fact that he can repeat and imitate, that's good. And it's a good step, but many children stuck there when they don't get intervention because you don't need the child to repeat the things which is told. You need the child to, or which he had, you need the child now to make his own speech. Because communication is about expressing your needs or your thoughts, not repeating, telling people what you think, or even communicating what you want to communicate. So with a child with echolalia, many children get stuck there, and I've seen many of them. But when you get your child for intervention, he can now come from echolalia to now making sentences of his own.
Maybe you can finish with this first one. Cynthia. Hello, my son can read and respond well, but he can't articulate well.
The child can
read and respond, but he can't articulate well.
But can't articulate well. Yet he can read and respond. That's good. How old is the child?
She hasn't mentioned.
This child just has communication challenges, and what as a parent you need to do, just encourage talking a lot. You want your child to talk well and make clear sentences when talking, talk with him a lot. Also try the steps we've talked in this book, where your child understands but he doesn't speak. A simple guide to brain body communication and what parents can do. So this book, try it. Read especially chapter 7, 8, 9, and 14. Read what is there and do what and implement it, because you need to come from just reading and scrolling videos to now implementing, because that's what we actually bring real results. Not scrolling, not taking copies like this, whereby I say, yeah, I got this copy, I got that copy, I got this copy, and I read it, and the things which are inside are very helpful. Yes, they become helpful when you really now try, implement what you've read, and you get real results, and you come back here even, tell us. Because when you try and you see improvement, and you come back, there's a parent who now gets inspired to act by seeing that another parent got some changes.
I can give you a closing.
So, one closing remark: for parents abroad, there's an application coming for you, which is going to help you the same way parents in Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru are getting helped. So, if you're in Mombasa and you're in Nakuru, the application is upcoming. So, if you're in Mombasa, Nakuru, we've got, if you're in Mombasa, Nakuru, Nairobi, you're good. Or even the surrounding areas of those three places. So, in Nairobi, we are at Valleyfield Court, Lavington. We are in Mombasa, at Nyari Healthcare Limited. We are also at in Nakuru. For people in Kericho, Laikipia, Kisumu, we are at Freedom International School. So the number to book an appointment is 079-770-5870. They've pinned the comment. And also go to YouTube and subscribe to Genuine Kunga Therapy Kenya to get long form content, whereby now you start learning on what you're going to do to help your child.